Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm willing to go any direction you want to go.
Awesome, awesome. You once said that business owners don't have the time to master everything, and that's why marketing
Still
agencies
don't.
became key, right? And so, considering that Go High Level is now being recognized globally, do you see freelancers and virtual assistants stepping into that same role, being key players
Oh,
for Go High Level?
for sure. For sure. In fact, I think I mean, I think the word agency has radically, I mean, that's certainly where we started. And it's funny because there are two shifts going on. You could think about it as the internal shift inside high level, but also externally in the world. So, you know, and again, this is, I love these stories because they're all customer stories. So like when we first came out, it was like, okay, we're going to be the agency operating system. That's what we used to call it. We're going to replace all these tools, and that's our mission. So we did that. And then very quickly thereafter, what again, customers show the way. I would speak to an agency. Hey, how are you doing? What's going on? And I would get in these weird calls. So the first person would be like, I sell Facebook ads to plumbers. And I'm like, how's it going? They're like, it's terrible. I lose clients every 5 minutes. I hate my life. I'm always stuck at home. I can never take a vacation. I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. That sucks. Let's see what we can do to help you. And then I get on the next call and I'd be like, hey, what do you do? And they're like, oh, I serve plumbers. And I'd be like, oh, let me guess. Your life is terrible. You hate it. You can never get away. And like, no, what are you talking about? I'm crushing it. Everything's going great. I go on vacation all the time. I barely work. And I'm like, what the heck are you doing? And they're like, oh, well, actually, I used to sell Facebook ads, but now I'm selling my white label of high level on a monthly recurring basis to them. And I'm like, wait, like software, like SaaS? And they're like, what's SaaS? And I'm like, wait, like just selling the software. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, how things go? It's like, oh, it's amazing. So, really taking that forward, what we realized is everybody needs to move into this direction. And it's because really clients want solutions, right?
Yep.
And the reality is that some of the solutions are going to be service or outcome based. In fact, that is how you should be selling stuff. That is what you should be focused on, and so forth and so on. But at some point where you have to provide a technology solution to your client, you need to be the one to do it. And so you get this beautiful pairing of software plus service, or software plus outcome, I think is a better way to think about it. And that to me is what's really amazing, is that we continue to see the word marketing agency now becomes much, much, much broader. And in fact, what marketing agencies used to do has become much, much, much broader as well. So there's this massive sea change when it comes to who's getting into this market. So I don't think you even have to call yourself an agency anymore. In fact, this is why we have that term SaaSpreneur, but whatever it becomes, that is really, in my opinion, the future. You're a solutions provider, and your job is to come to the table and say, look, you're a lawyer. Cool. Here's all the things out of the box that I can give you that will immediately double your ROI on what you pay me tomorrow. And you just scale that out for each of those people. And as the technology changes, as it inevitably will, you're going to continue to stay on top of it for them and help them kind of guide them through that journey, whatever it means.
With that said, what advice would you give to someone who's just now discovering Go High Level? Like, what should they be doing today to catch the wave
Oh my
early for
gosh.
what
Oh,
you're building Go
so,
High Level
so, so,
towards
so
later?
simple. Oh my gosh. So simple. So two things. One, focus on the sale. If you can, let me just be very clear. If you can't sell something, you lose. Game over. I don't care how many features we have and how great we do it. If you cannot make the sale, you lose. So focus on the sale. What does that mean to me? The biggest issue I see with people is, remember, you're coming in as the expert. You're coming in, think about it like this. You're the home remodeler going to Home Depot. You're going to love all the tools. You're going to love the saws and the hammers and the nails and all the new stuff. But none of your customers care about any of that. They just want the house to be built, right?
Yeah.
And how it gets built and what they use and blah, 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 blah. Not interested. And the more you try to go that direction, the worse it's going to get. You need to focus on outcomes. So when you're making the sale, you're saying, hey, I'm going to help you get more 5-star reviews or a higher rank on Google or more. And really, it's all driving to more customers through the door, right? That's the most important thing. So make the sale and focus on sales around outcomes, things that your customer wants. See it from their perspective. Put yourself in their shoes. Assume they're a busy person who has no extra time to learn anything and is looking for results. That's how you make the sale. That's number one. Number two, how do you do that when someone, let's just say you say, oh, I'm going to get you more customers, and someone's like, great, I'll pay you. How are you going to achieve that? You're going to pick one feature. And I'm not joking about this. One feature. It can be missed call text back. It could be inbound voice AI. In fact, inbound voice AI crushes it because you don't have to add them to the software. They don't have to become a user of it. They don't have to know it exists. You don't have to replace the phone number. You can do what's called busy no answer call forwarding. So it rings the business owner 3 times. So like just normal, like they would otherwise experience it. And then when they don't pick up, and by the way, I don't care what they say, they don't pick up all the darn time, it rolls over automatically in the background to high level picks up with the voice AI, and the voice AI will book it in. And here's the beautiful thing: you get one customer for most businesses, and that's easily worth a $300 a month charge. So focus on one feature, focus on making the sale. If you do those two things, you will win. You can always do more later. You can always learn more later. You can always expand later. But for gosh sakes, start simple.
If you want to watch the full 30-minute recording of this interview with GoHighLevel CEO Sean Clark, join us in our community today. The link is in the description, and once you join us, get started with your 30-day free trial of GoHighLevel, and then you'll be able to access the full 30-minute version of this interview with Sean Clark. I'll see you inside.